Hello and welcome to Figure Skating Mess. The European Championships was quite a mixed event for me personally. Some things I am so excited about, while other things left me feeling kind of numb and empty afterwards, honestly. Today we will both cover the women's and men's single, and without any further ado, let's begin with a definite highlight of the event, the women's singles. I am obsessed with the women's event. It was so good, despite Luna Hendricks, otherwise the top European skater, not being able to be here sadly because of an injury. Please recover to full strength, Luna, we miss you. But the other skaters who were contended for the medals, who had been a bit, up and down this season, everyone brought their best here, and it was so great to see. And the cherry on top was that Niina Petrõkina from Estonia won the event. It is such a fairy tale story for me that she wins her first ever championship medal in her home country, in the city where she grew up in, and it's not just any medal, it is the gold medal. And the story she has been through, last season she was up and coming, she had momentum, she won a bronze at Grand Prix America, and she was one of the medal candidates for last year's European. And then right before that she injured herself very badly. I think she even broke her leg or something, so she had to miss that. But she has come back this season, slowly getting better and better, but sort of came in as a bit of an underdog, like definitely a medal contender, but not maybe one of the big three, but just under it. And then she just has this skates over her life. Let's take this from the beginning. In the show program, I was so pleased with her skate. She performed a triple lutz, triple toe, which is the first triple combination she has performed since her injury. Like, she hasn't done that at all during the Grand Prix season. So I was so surprised, and she also nailed it. And she finished in second place in the show program, just 0.05 points from the goal. So literally nothing between them, and she was so cute. Like, she couldn't contain herself from the excitement. Her legs started dancing because she got a personal best. Then it is free skate, and it is so close between the top three, like only I think 0.35 points between the first and third skater. So absolutely nothing. It all would come down to this free skate. And what a skate she performed. She began super steady, like the first three jumps, lands, everything is going well. And then she just randomly falls out of nowhere. Like, it's not on a jump, not on a spin, not on anything. It's just, she just falls between two jumps. And I'm like, oh no. I thought she had this. I thought she was gonna win a medal, and then she falls. Is this gonna ruin it for her? Like, is she gonna get in a bad, pace? Is she probably gonna lose speed? Maybe get like mental things going on that maybe ruin this for her? But no, she just stands up, does her next jump, is clean, and then she does her next jump, it cleans, and she is so steady, she is completely in the zone, and she just nails everything. So at the end I just forgot that she had fell, honestly. And when she finished, the arena just roared, and so many little girls were having like the time of their lives. They were standing there with Estonian flags and little signs that say Niina, and she got a huge personal score, like 139 in the free skate, and then overall she got 208. And this is the first time she's ever gone beyond 200. She was just so happy. It seems like it physically hurt how happy she was. Like, it seems like she was in pain, and she cried and I cried, and her coaches was in shock, like, what have our student done? I don't think anyone expected her to get these amazing score, but she definitely deserved them. I mean, she was the best at this event. 2 clean skates, triple combinations, and she is dynamic as a skater. That's what I really appreciate about her, is how like big her movements are. She uses her whole body. She is fast, she is powerful, she has good technique. She's just a quality skater, and I appreciate that that is rewarded. And it's like, it's never boring to watch her because something is always happening. And I just, once again, I'm just obsessed with this. It must have also been such a wonderful experience to do your winning interview in your native tongue. I listened to it even though I didn't understand a word of Estonian, but I just felt the emotion, and it's just a beautiful language too. I think Estonian is one of the most beautiful languages on earth. She also seems really funny. She translated it to English afterwards, and apparently when they asked her when she knew she was gonna win, she said, after I fell. In second place we find Anastasiia Gubanova representing Georgia, who also had 2 clean programs. I especially love her short program, where she actually won a small gold medal. I like the concept. I just completely here for it being an ABBA song with money, 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 but a more, dark, sensual version of the song. It is a very luxury feeling she's presenting, and it's completely in her line. She does it very well. And my highlight of the program is definitely when she lands the triple Lutz, the last jump of the program, and she just beams. Like, she's just radiating with her smile, because she has been very up and down this season with the jumps. So it must have been such a great feeling to have like clean program at Europeans where it matters the most. Then in her free program, I think it was clear that Niina was the better of the two on that day. Anastasiia had some under rotation, and generally I feel like she lost speed a bit at the end, and she also had some lower levels at the spins, and that was like the difference between them. Still, she got a seasonal best, so she did great. She really peaked here, and I am just so satisfied that she was able to bring 2 clean skates here. Then in third place we find Niina Pinzarrone from Belgium. So Belgium did get a medal even though Luna wasn't here. And for the short program, I was honestly a bit disappointed. She was in 4th place, so she was off from the podium by like 2 points or something. I just felt that she lacked some interpretation here and presentation. I honestly think she was overscored in terms of PCS, but I had the opposite feeling in the free skate, where I actually think she was underscored in terms of PCS, because like that free skate, each time I see it, I just have a gulp in my throat from beginning to end. It is to The Handmaid's Tale, and this is the first time ever I have appreciated a voiceover in figure skating. I usually despise them, but here it sets the tone so perfectly for what the message is of this program, what she wants to convey. And the whole program is so delicate and quiet and fragile, but it says so much with these small movements. And I think also the dress is so suitable. Otherwise I would have called this dress boring, because it is boring, but this red color with this thin fabric just being completely plain without any stress or pizzazz, and then this very open back that shows the vulnerability. I think it is exactly what the program needs. As I think she definitely should have got higher PCS scores in the free and won a small silver medal for the free, but overall I think it was fair that she was in 3rd place. Then in 4th place, missing the podium, we find Switzerland's Kimmy Repond, who I actually predicted to be the gold medalist, so I completely was in the wrong there. But I just thought she has been so stable this season, and she always brings like her A game at big championships, and she did have a good show program. I mean, she was clean, she was in 3rd place, so at least she goes away from here with a small bronze medal. That's always something she should be proud of. And she once again had such a priceless reaction. I mean, her reactions, I'm just living for them. She is so expressive, like the teenager that she is, and she was just crying and then smiling because she was like got a personal best, you know. But then in the free skate she couldn't keep it together, unfortunately. She had 2 under rotations with falls on them, and that is not enough when we have 3 skaters with back-to-back clean programs. It's not. And her reaction made me so sad. Like, she looked so empty and disappointed at herself, and I just wanted to hug her. Like, Kimmy has a special place in my heart because I watched her live win that surprise bronze medal 2 years ago in Finland, and that was such a moment in the arena and so endearing to watch her. And she is a tall girl with long limbs like me. Like, she's 174. That is, for figure skating standards, that is like giant, you know. It's not giant in real life standards, but in figure skating that's like ridiculously tall. So I think that's kind of cool that she is still this good despite her length. Then in 5th place we have Italy's Pezzetta. I am so glad that she did good here. 5th place is amazing. She is 17-year-old. This is her first championships, but I've been a fan of her for several seasons on the junior level, because she's always had the biggest jump of anyone in the game, like bigger than the seniors. Her jumps are so huge, like, and long, like a combination covers half of the ice. It's ridiculous and so satisfying, but it is difficult to control that power, so more often than not she is falling. But she has been more stable, and here I don't think she had any falls. She had some like bad landings and did a double instead of a triple here and there, but generally she kept it together. She made a personal best, and yeah, I'm just so excited by this skate, and I feel like if she just gets some more presentation and some more like stability in her landings, she's gonna be like tough to beat, let me tell you. She's already getting quite good PCS because she has great skating skills, and also like she's good at jumping, so that automatically gets you higher PCS. I personally think she is a bit overscored in terms of presentation because she doesn't have any belly, but for some reason, just for Anna, I accept that because she is so ridiculously better than everyone else when it comes to jumping, like in the height, length and technique, that I am willing to give her just extra points in other categories because it can't be fully like rewarded, her exceptional height and length. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna reward her in other places. Right now I can live with that. Then in 6th place we have the other Italian girl and the more experienced. We have Lara Gutmann, and I'm also so happy for her. I think I'm just saying all throughout this video I'm so happy for them, but I am. This is a skater who won her first ever Grand Prix medal this season and who is having like a moment. She's a character on ice, I would say, and she has a bit of like weird programs. So I'm so happy that she seems to like being more stable and having clean skate, that she's gonna get rewarded. Like, this is the best place ever she has had at European Championships, and I'm especially I'm obsessed with her show program. I think it is so cool. It is to the Squid Game music, which is like such an honestly bad music choice. The sound is sort of like money falling at sometimes, and it's just like not, how do you skate to that? It's not that much rhythm, but it just suits her. Like, she does it so well. I love the dress and like the circles and the squares and her doing circles with the arms, and she's just and the step sequence is it's a banger, and she does that little jump in it, and it's just, yeah, I'm living for it. And I actually think that she should have been much higher in the show program. I think she is terribly underscored in terms of PCS for this program. I think she should have gotten one of the best and maybe like in the 8s in terms of presentation and composition. I think she should at least have been 4th. I think she should have been above Niina in the show program. Almost even actually I think above Kimmy. I think this show program did deserve a bronze medal, but at the same time I see that she had easier jumps and that maybe her technique score wouldn't have been enough still. Then in the free skate, it wasn't as good as the short. She popped some jumps, and I'm also like not as much of a fan of it. It's more like generic standard figure skating and not as fun and quirky, if you know what I mean, but yeah. Then in 7th place we find Romania's Julia Sauter. I am also so happy with her performance. I especially like the short program. That was just overall quality and a great skate. And I find it so interesting that she's never like at the top of her game or anyone remarkable at the Grand Prix stages, but always at the championships. She peaks, she gets personal best, and this was no exception. She got a personal best here. 7th place, never finished so high, and I just love that she's 29 and each year she is evolving and getting better and better and getting better scores in higher places. I find that so inspiring. Then in 8th place we have Ekaterina Kurakova representing Poland. I have mixed feelings about her competition here. First of all, in the show program, I was just thrilled that Katja finally had a clean skate, because let me tell you, it has been very emotionally draining to be a Katja fan the last couple of years. She has struggled so much with her jumps. Last European, she didn't even qualify for the finals. That's insane. When the 2 previous ones she came in 4th place, like 4th, 25th. That's ridiculous. And so I was so thrilled when she landed her last jump cleanly and she could just let loose and perform the hell out of that program. And what a performance! It was like a exhibition, like gala performance, and I just love her. I'm always rooting for her, and she's always like such a spark of joy in my opinion, and has always such great stage presence. And I'm like obsessed with her little wink afterwards and the little dance. Like, she was so satisfied with that program. But then come the scores. And her components was a joke. Like, even the commentator was surprised and a bit pissed that she got such low components, because he thought it was great. I mean, I think in terms of presentation and composition, this was hands down the best short program of that night, and it should have been close to 9s in my opinion. Instead it was around 7s. Like, doesn't make any sense, but also it sort of does if you look at how figure skating works and not how it should work, you know, because like 4 years ago, when she was much more stable, she got much better components, and it's not like she is less artistic now, rather like it should be the opposite, but definitely not less. But it's just that when you have faults in your programs, your components slowly get worse, so even when you have a clean skate, they like stay down there, and I feel like she has had the opposite journey as Niina Pinzarrone, whose components are just getting higher and higher because she never falls and she like always have clean skates, while Katja has just plummeted because of her troubles the last couple of seasons, and that is so unfair because Katja is so good, and it's really frustrating that her hard work on her performance isn't rewarded. I mean, that was just once again, that was a gala program. Then in the free skate, she unfortunately began with a fall, but otherwise she did keep it together. She stayed on her feet after that and came in 8th place. I'm not as obsessed with her free program though, but I love the dress change, that is always cool. Then in 9th place we have Kristen Spours from the UK, which was a total surprise to everyone. I think nobody expected her to be in the top 10, but definitely a deserved top 10 place because she had 2 clean skates and decent enough like presentation. So well done, Kristen, and congratulations the UK. Last but not least, for the women, I have to always talk about the Swedish skater, that is Josefin Taljegård, who unfortunately, like, her jumps were not jumping that day. She only had 1 fall, but almost all of her jumps were under-rotated, and that meant her technical scores were, you know, at the bottom, which was very fair of the judges. However, when it comes to components, I am pissed. As always. I mean, like, I know I'm always gonna get pissed because she never get the components she deserves, but I'm angry each time still. I never learn. Because, like, Josefin, yes, she isn't the best jumper, but when it comes to storytelling, like, it's few that beat her, and especially I think in the free program, she had the best composition and performance of the night. Every, like, movement in that program is so deliberately made, and it tells a story, and you can really see that she is 29 and she has lived so much more than the teenage girls, and she has so much more to tell and ways to convey those emotions. And personally, I did cry during that performance. I thought it was very, very touching, and I just felt what she wanted us to feel, and it frustrates me that that isn't rewarded. For the composition, she doesn't even get 7s. Like, she doesn't even get 7s for her competition. Like, jail. Honestly, judges, jail. What are you on? If I were a judge, I would at least 8s, like high 8s for that free program, because that was splendid, that was magic, and everyone in the arena felt that. And it bugs me so much that PCS scores are so corrupt, and that first of all, it depends on if you have a big federation. Secondly, it is also dependent on your jumps. And she doesn't have good jumps, but it's so stupid because it doesn't work the other way around. It's not like, oh, you're good at presentation, let me just ignore that under rotation. Or like, oh, you didn't convey any emotion, let me give you an under rotation because you just didn't have the right vibe. I mean, that would be ridiculous. So why are they doing it the other way around? Oh, pisses me off. The positive thing is that she actually got the best step sequence in the short program and the second best in the free. I am very proud of her for that. She is very good at those step sequences. And then for the men's event was confusing, to say the least. None of my favorites to win the gold did. Like, I thought either Siao Him Fa, Kevin Aymoz or Daniel Grassl would win gold because all of them like gotten their best scores during the Grand Prix events, all of them qualified for the Grand Prix final, and I knew like they have a really highest level. But none of them took the gold. It was instead Lukas Broischtgi from Switzerland. And I am still a bit in shock after this, honestly. Lukas was definitely not someone I thought would come and win here. He was a medal candidate, yes, for sure. He did win the bronze 2 years ago, but this season he has not been remarkable at all. He came in 9th and 5th place only at his Grand Prix assignments, so I just he wasn't at the top of his mind. But if you look at this competition, yes, for sure, he was the deserved winner, but I just felt that it wasn't a winning performance, if you know what I mean. Now I sound so mean. I have absolutely nothing against Lukas. I like him as a skater, and I especially liked his short program, and he has expression, but I just felt that, you know, the free skate, yes, it was clean, but it didn't have that extra thing that usually a winning program have, when you feel in your body like, oh, this is the winning program. Might also have something to do that he was 8th after the short program, so you thought that maybe someone was gonna come after him and beat him, so you didn't think that would be the winning program. But yeah, it just made me a bit like, I'm still a bit confused that he won, but objectively, yes, it was the deserved winner, and congratulations, I guess. Very cool. First ever gold medal for Switzerland in Europeans. Apparently Stéphane Lambiel only won 3 silvers. In second place we have Nikolaj Memola from Italy, who, just as Lukas, was someone who, sure, did have a shot at medaling, but definitely wasn't one of the favorites. He had an unsuccessful Grand Prix season, finishing 10th and 6th in his assignment, so really impressive that he managed to bring it all together here. Just as Lukas, it was definitely a deserved medal, but also he left me wanting a bit more, you know. He has decent expression, but I think he lacks that wow effect that I want from the medalist. His wow effect is probably his length, honestly. He is ridiculously tall. I think 194 centimeters. That's insane for a figure skater, and as a tall person myself, I am in full support of his success. Therefore, it is widely known it's more difficult the taller you get as a figure skater to rotate your jump, so it is very impressive that he's able to control those long limbs, and it's also so satisfying because his jumps are so high, and when he stretches it out, it looks very impressive. Also, I am impressed that he can do quadruple jumps, and not any quadruple jumps. He does a quadruple loose, which is one of the most difficult, although he doesn't have a clean outside edge, and that is something that has bugged me all throughout his career, because that is something that gets called out maybe half of the time, while it's always not an outside edge. And especially when you do a quadruple jump and it gets not called, he gets like 4+ in GOE, while if it was a proper edge call, it would have gotten -4 instead. So in combination that can almost mount up to 10 points. So that is something that I'm a bit iffy about, but still I think it was a deserved silver medal here for Nikolaj. Then in third place we have the winner of the last 2 European Championships, Siao Him Fa, who, first of all, impressive that he is even here competing. He had a very rough season, injuring himself during the summer, not being able to prepare enough for the Grand Prix season, still winning a gold in Grand Prix France and a medal in Cup of China, but he injured himself once again in the free skate in China, thus had to withdraw from the Grand Prix final and only began practicing quads 3 weeks before the Europeans. The fact that he even managed to win a bronze here is deserves a big applause. He even won a small gold for the short program, although you could see his lack of training on the quads, because the landings were not the cleanest, to say the least, and I think that showed even more in the free skate when he had falls and even more mistakes on his landings, but he still was 3rd overall. And my favorite part is in the free skate, in the middle of the program, he just lays down and breathes on the ice. Honestly, a mood. Then in 4th place we have Nika Egadze representing Georgia. He actually came in 2nd place and won a small silver medal in short program, although I don't think he deserved that. It was very close between place 7 and second place in the short program, and in my opinion, some other skaters deserved way more PCS compared to him and should have been above him. I will tell you who those skaters are when I come to them. While Nika, he is a very like slow, stiff skater with almost no expression. He's quite boring to watch, and I thought he should have gotten even lower PCS. And like, yes, he has the jumps. That's why he was so high. He was one of the few skaters that did 2 clean quads in the short program. So he had the best technical scores, I will give him that. But it just doesn't excite me when you don't connect to the music and you look so stiff on your legs. Then in 5th place we have Italy's Matteo Rizzo, who had 2 quite nice skates. I definitely prefer the short one, which I think had much more artistry in it. The long one was a bit slow and boring in my opinion. Then in 6th place we have someone who's definitely not slow and boring. That is Deniss Vasiljevs from Latvia. Can you imagine how furious I was at him in the short program when he once again attempted a quad salto and failed miserably? As usual. I am so tired of watching Deniss pop or fall on his quad saltos in the short program. It destroys every program. I just want him to do clean triples and get sky-high GOEs and a sky-high PCS. Because guess what, Deniss? When you fall in every program, your PCS scores will slowly but steady diminish. And you will not be recognized for the incredibly artist that you are. So he was only 12th after the short program. Then came the free skate, and I see him once again preparing for a quad salto, and I was like, don't you dare, Deniss! But he did dare. And he lands it with a triple toe at the end. And I'm just beyond myself through the roof. And then I see him prepare for yet another quad salto, and I'm like, stop, Deniss, like don't tempt fate. Like, you have been lucky once, just be satisfied with that, don't try another one. But he lands that one too. Yes, it wasn't the most beautiful landing, but he stays on his feet. And I'm like, I take back everything, Deniss, I take back everything. You do your quad saltos, you do. I can't believe that he landed 2 quad saltos in one program. Who would have thought? Not me, but maybe he knows what he's doing. I honestly thought that he was gonna win a small medal for the free program, but he was 4th because of those negative GOE, which was fair. Although I did think he maybe should have gotten a bronze medal, because I think he should have gotten higher PCS. In my opinion, this was the free program of the evening. You know, when I talked in the beginning how I felt that Nikolaj and Lukas lacked the wow factor, Deniss had that wow factor. He also had difficult jumps, but he had artistry all throughout the program that left the audience, and me included, and the commentator, so much more excited afterwards. Although I recognize that both Nikolaj and Lukas should be above him due to their technical quality that they performed in the free skate, but I think he should have been above Adam in my opinion. Also, I just love the way his hair flows. Like, his hair is in time with the music. Like, he has hairography, and I'm here for it. Then in 7th place we have Estonia's Mihhail Selevko, who his short program blew me through the roof. I think this program was deserving of a silver medal. Let me explain. First of all, it had all of the technical difficulties. It had a clean quad toe, triple axel and triple combination. But most of all, he was art. Like, the way he committed to that program is so commendable. He was the personification of a zombie all throughout that program. And that passion he gave, and the timing, the impeccable timing to the music. it just does things to my body. It was so fucking good. And I think he deserved closer to maybe 9s. When it comes to PCS, instead he only got high 7s, which is like ridiculous. Because in my opinion, that was the short program of the night. And I'm obsessed with his costumes. Like, it looks like it is ripped up flesh, but when you take a closer look, it is red eyes. I mean, iconic. So I'm both really pleased that he could perform such a brilliant short program in front of his home crowd, but also frustrated that he wasn't recognized properly with a medal in the short program. Like, he almost got the same PCS scores as Nika, who's just a stiff jumping stick, and Mihhail, who's just like full body movement. That is like, did the judges even watch the program? I'm confused. Anyways, going into the free, he definitely had a shot at medaling. It was super close between the men, and he began the program gloriously with landing a quadruple loop cleanly. I didn't know he had a quadruple loop in his arsenal. Unfortunately, he lost all of that like advantage from that clean quad loop when he does a double toe instead of a quad toe as the first jump. After that though, he is secure, he lands all of his jump until the very last triple loops, which he pops into a single. And he looked so disappointed at himself, like banging his head afterwards, which is so understandable because he had a golden opportunity to win a medal in front of his home crowd, and he might just have messed that up with that triple lutz failure. Then in 8th place we find Daniel Grassl from Italy, who I am surprised to find this low. He had a very good Grand Prix season. He qualified for the Grand Prix final where he finished in 5th place. And when you just saw the programs, you thought they were gonna be scored much higher, because I think in total he performed 5 quadruple jumps, all of them landed, but almost all of his jumps were with negative GOE due to not sufficient rotation and wonky landings. And here I have to say, good job to the judges, like credit where credit is due. That was very correct that you call those. Then in 9th place we find the oldest Selevko brother, Aleksandr, who did win a silver medal, loves Europeans, and he for sure would have loved to be on the podium again in front of his home crowd. I would have loved that too. Obviously it didn't happen. The short program though, it was almost perfect. I was in awe throughout the program. Like, it was like a worm move through his body. It was so fascinating. I don't know how he does that. I have never seen anyone skate like that, and I just am obsessed with the impeccable rhythm of the Selevko brothers. And the program was, as I said, almost perfect. He did have a clean quad toe, and it was clean overall, but he did a double axel instead of a triple. And that cost him a obvious silver medal in the short, although personally I think he should have gotten 3rd still in the short program instead of 7th, because I think he deserved even more PCS. Like, that was unbelievable, his performance, and I think he should have been closer to the 9s. And it was also very close between him and the 3rd place, only 1.5 points, and I think he deserved those points, and that would have awarded him a bronze medal. So I think both the Selevko brothers should have gotten medals for their short programs, but didn't happen. Then in the free it was just tragic. No quadruple jumps, pops, repetition, fall. Gravely disappointed, because I think everyone just wanted him to win a medal again when it was in Estonia. Then in 10th place we have Poland's Vladimir Samoilov, who was the one who won that small bronze medal in the short program. And what I like about this guy is that he has huge jumps. There are so much air in his jumps. They are enormous. And thinking about it, maybe he didn't deserve that bronze medal. I'm conflicted, not sure, but either Vladimir or Aleksandr, both were very deserving. And he also had quite a good charm in rhythm in the short program too. And then in the free, he couldn't stand the pressure of being a medal candidate. He had a fall and only 2 combinations. Weirdly enough though, he got better PCS in the free than in the short, when he was obviously way more committed in the short program than in the free, and he also had a fall in the free, so very weird. PCS scores continues to be a mystery. Then in 11th place, just outside of the podium, we have Andreas Nordebäck from Sweden. Oh, how I would have loved for him to be in the top 10, so Sweden could have 2 skaters for next Europeans, and personally I think he should have been in the top 10, because looking at the PCS in the free program, I think Andreas deserved higher PCS than Vladimir, and thus that would have compensated for that 2.5 points that he was after in the overall standings. Although it might just be the Sweden in me that is talking, so like I might just be very biased here, and keep that in mind. But anyways, Andreas did very good still in terms of his capabilities. He had 2 clean programs and only some bad landings on 2 of the triple axels, but he stood on his skates, and yeah, I'm pleased. I couldn't really have asked for much more, and generally I love his style. He has some sort of swag about him. He's very cool and like chill on the ice. And the short program, I love his opening of it, and the outfit, like it looks very boring and just black in front, but then it's party in the back, and the cut out is inspiration from the album cover from the Depeche Mode song, which is, that's so cool. Then the last man I wanted to talk about is Kevin Aymoz. Kevin! Why do you continue doing this to us and yourself? Why do you have such glorious Grand Prix seasons and then failing so miserably at the championships? I don't understand. Please, I really thought maybe this time you could win a medal, since Adam was injured and not his optimal form. And I mean, you had a bit mistakes in the Grand Prix final, but then you had a good French nationals. I thought you were gonna have it together, but no. And you just knew that when Kevin began popping his first quarto, that it was gonna go downhill. He also had a fall on his triple axel. Still, I believed in him still, because I thought maybe he would just let all of the pressure go and have a splendid free program, and earning him a small medal in the freestyle at least. Like, he has never even won a small medal at Europeans. He has come 4th place numerous times, and he's so deserving of a medal at Europeans. But it just never works out, and his free skate was even worse than the short program. And I don't know, like, what should we do with him? Like, please, Kevin, why does this keep on happening? Can you just hire the mental coach of Amber Glenn or something? That was everything, I guess, for this year's Europeans. I wanted to talk about ice dance and pairs too, but I just realized I didn't have time before 4 continents would start. So this is all you get. I hope you still enjoyed it, and please write in the comments down below your highlights from this European Championships. Did you think the medals were fairly awarded? And until you see me next time, take care of yourself and the people around you. Bye!